Hello, what's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Naya, and on this channel we talk everything about manifestation, esotericism, and so much more. And if you want that so much more, you can find it on my Patreon. The link is down below for my community. But now let's get started with today's video, since you might not even know who I am. Some of you are my subscribers, and if you are, thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not, remember to subscribe and hit the ring bell button so you always get notified on when I'm live as well. So in today's video, I want to talk about what are the things that you can change when it comes down to reality and the universe with the law of assumption, or LOA, however you want to call it. What are the things that you can change, and what are the things that you cannot change or cannot manifest? Because yes, there are things, and before you go on fire down below in the comment section, let me explain. But there are 3 things that you could not change. Nobody on planet Earth living can change, not even with the law. And that kind of answer your questions when you ask me, can I manifest this? Or can I manifest my ESP? Can I manifest money? Can I manifest a change of appearance? Can I manifest fill in the blank? This is going to be the video for you. I'm going to answer what you can manifest and cannot manifest. All right, let's get started. And by the way, if you do want to, no, actually I'm going to say it later. But anyway, so, what you can manifest everything, or actually, let's put it better. You can affect change in the world with everything that has to do with experience. So anything that you can experience both mentally and physically, you can affect change. What does it mean to affect change? Magic is just this. Magic is the use of either your mind, your subconscious mind, natural forces, or spiritual forces to affect needed change in your reality. Why needed? Because you have a desire. A desire is the way you interpret desire is a need, because it's not just a whim. Oh, I just want this, and then you don't care about it anymore. It's not like something fleeting. A need is where I want my SP, I want the money, I want to better my life. You have a need, and so you want to use, in this case with the law, the power of your mind, the power of your subconscious mind to create a needed change, because it's with your needs, a needed change into reality. And all that you need, in fact, is a need, or also known as desire. Your true will, so the fact that you really want to do it and you are persistent and consistent, and knowledge. You need to know how to do it, and we have an entire channel dedicated to that. You are performing magic every single time with your own subconscious mind, every single time that you are manifesting. Whether it is consciously or unconsciously, you are affecting some sort of change within yourselves and outside of yourself. As is stated in the Hermetic principles, in one of the Hermetic principle, as above, so below, as within, so without. To whatever you embody as a state of consciousness manifest outside, because we live in a mirror world. So what can you manifest? You can manifest anything that you can have experience of. Experience does also imply imagination, as imagination is the rooting cause of everything. So you might say, but this reality is experiential based, so I can manifest everything that I want because I can experience. Like when you're watching this video, you manifested this video. You're having an experience of this video. When you want to be with your SP, you have an experience of your SP, at least from your side, from your perspective. So yes, you can affect reality, 3D reality, pretty much however you want. There are infinite possibilities, because the experiences being already created as creation is finished. Why creation is finished? Because the quantum field is there every single time you have a thought. It's because it's already being created in this game called reality, which could be dimension 0. Think about it like this. This is a game. It's a construct. It's a matrix, okay? So everything in the game is already being created. It's like if you play video games like I do. Now I don't have the time with baby because I have a daughter, 1 year 3-year-old daughter, but when I used to play video games as much as I love to, like let's say I was playing Skyrim, which is one of my favorite video games. When I'm playing Skyrim, the world that is created in Skyrim, it's already there. It's already been created. Everything that I want in Skyrim, yes, I might have to unlock certain features, certain weapons, or certain chapters of the story, but everything is already being created by the developer, of the game. That is the same thing. There is a developer called Infinite Consciousness, Source, Infinite Awareness, and the game is already being developed, and it's being developed in thought forms. So everything that you can think of, if you can imagine, you can have it, because imagination is experience, and you can change anything that is experience based. Therefore, when it comes down to the 3D, you can have it all. You can manifest anything that you want. Nothing is impossible, and I think people nowadays are pushing the boundaries of what is possible or not on a day-to-day basis, because maybe before, healing through only meditation wasn't possible, but then it only takes one person that is able to experience that to awaken the entire world, and now the world can do it too. And we have the stories from the experiences of Joe Dispenza, for example, teaching us that it only takes one person to unlock a field of information to experience. It only takes one experience to unlock that potentiality of that experience, and then everyone else can follow because they unlock that experience. So what you can manifest, I'm going to say it again, everything that you can experience. So before you get the doubts, can I experience money? Yes, you can. Can I experience the car that I want? Yes, you can. Can I experience the love of my SP? Yes, you can. And in fact, you already did. You follow me? Right. So you're like, why am I even watching this video? So what is it that I cannot manifest? So what is it that I cannot change? This very 3 simple spiritual truth. Because let's talk about truth for a second, because this is a very important video, hidden in a catchy title, but it's a very important video. So yes, it's true that if creation is finished, everything that you assume and you believe, experientially speaking, you can change. So there could be 2 existing realities where some people believe in fairies or believe, let's do this, they believe in ghosts. They believe in demons and possessed dolls. They will experience that reality because it's an experience again, where they will be able to see it. Then another person, on the other hand, of the world, doesn't believe in the paranormal, doesn't believe in haunted dolls or whatever creepy that you like or you want to experience. This person over here, because they don't believe it to be true, they won't experience it. It will affect their change in their life, where they won't experience the possessed dolls, the demons, and all of that. Now, what is the truth though? The underlying truth. Both of the matter of the situations are true. So these entities actually exist. The only difference is in the experience of the observer, seeing them or not, or collapsing a reality where they exist or not, but only in their experience. On a spiritual level, all the dimensions of consciousness exist simultaneously at the same time. So this example is, yes, it's only true what is true for you in your experience. Yes, whatever you assume is true for you in your experience. Yes, you need to find your own way and your own reality. Yes. However, there is a solid truth to the matter of things. It's not that everyone creates everything in the universe, because it only depends on experience, and therefore you create certain laws and you can change them. It doesn't work in this way. You change your own reality and your own perspective, but there are some solid truth and laws that cannot be changed, and you cannot change. You cannot manifest change in these laws. What are these? These are fundamentally 3. Apart from the 7 hermetic principles, which are the laws of this particular universe that is constructed, and you can watch my video Master the Universe if you want to know the 7 hermetic principles, but it can be shortened into 3 things. The first thing, you cannot change the law. And yeah, I want to, because I don't like the fact that this reality is a mirror. Sometimes it's kind of boring, because the game plays always in the same way, and we kind of live like in a loop where you constantly get reflected your own states of consciousness. And the reason why spiritually you get reflected your own states of consciousness is so you can learn yourself and others, and you can better yourself on a spiritual level. However, you cannot change until you're here in existence, and most likely even in the spirit world, you have no power to change that. You cannot. I think we could eventually change it collectively, but that's a topic for a different video. Anyway, you cannot change, not even as a soul, the law. You cannot change that this game was constructed with this law of assumption, that everything that you hold as an assumption reflects to you. You cannot change that. Even if you say, I don't believe in the law of assumption, I don't believe in manifestation, the law will work anyway, because that is your assumption. So you will live in a world where the law, it's not present, but it will be present because you have created that. You cannot bypass the spiritual law. I don't know in any other way to put it. You just can't do that. That's something that cannot be changed. And that is why Neville Goddard used to say, you need to buy the pearl of great price. Like, you need to accept that the law is working at all time, whether you like it or not. You cannot escape yourself, because you cannot escape the law, because you cannot escape yourself. You cannot be as yourself. Your world is always going to reflect at some point your states of consciousness and your the assumptions that you have about the world, the assumptions that you have about yourselves, the assumption that you have in regards of specific things. You are constantly confronting yourself. You cannot escape yourself. And on a spiritual side, that is why when you die, and we see this this knowledge being shown to us, to people that have near-death experiences, when you die and you go into the room before your resting process, you are confronted with your guiding masters, let's call them this way, and they will show you all the things about your life that you did, and what other people thought about your actions, and you cannot escape that. You cannot escape that this reality is being constructed as a mirror, as a spiritual lessons experience, and you can't change the law. The law works whether you like it or not. The law works whether you want it or not. The law works whether you know it or not. The law is constantly working, at least in this particular Earth planet, in this particular dimension. Let's call it plane zero. You can't change that. You can't. So, second thing that you cannot change or cannot manifest. And by the way, why do I know these things? I know these things because I'm psychic. I did a lot of like dimensional traveling through ayahuasca, DMT, psychedelic experiences, through my visions, my dreams, my channeling. If you want to know more about my psychic abilities, you can head on my channel, Naya Visions, to see my tarot. My experience has been there for years. And by the way, if you do want coaching with me or a reading, the link is down below. They are all available at 20% discount. Again, link below. Anyway, second thing that you cannot change whether you like it or not. The second thing that you cannot change is the fact that there are multiple levels of consciousness, multiple levels of dimensions. If you want to know more about various states of consciousness and levels of consciousness, you can watch my video, Magic is Real, All the Levels of Consciousness. I'm going to put it over here if I can. It's on my channel, and it's very interesting video about the planes of consciousness. You cannot change that consciousness expresses itself at various levels, which includes you as a human being, which includes higher dimensional beings, which includes multiple levels in multiple worlds, which includes demons, entities, thought forms, egregores, fairies, etc., etc., angels. You cannot change the dimensions of consciousness. You cannot. You can say, I don't want to believe in it. You won't experience them, but you can't change them. That's a spiritual truth. The consciousness has at least 13 levels of dimensions. that it expresses itself through you and through everything that it has created, and you cannot change within this within these states of consciousness, or levels of consciousness, I will say. You cannot change that the root of everything, where source resides, level 13th, let's say, if we are level 0 or level ground 1, you cannot change that infinite awareness. The base of infinite awareness and creation is unconditional love. You can't change that. You can say, I do not want to experience unconditional love. That's up to you. And in this ground 0 reality, you want to experience unconditional love. But you cannot change that in the highest part, in the highest dimensions, or actually in all consciousness, consciousness, creates coming from a standing point of unconditional love. There is no judgment in the spirit world, because when there is unconditional love, there cannot be any judgment. When you love unconditionally, you don't judge. You are not judged in the spirit world. That is why when you ask, it is given. You are incredibly loved. You are love itself in the highest form. Your subconscious mind, your soul is created through love. Everything is created through unconditional love. And you cannot change that the highest frequency of creation, not the only frequency of creation itself, is unconditional love. Now, does that mean that you have to be constantly unconditionally loving in order to manifest? No. You can be as a, oh, I just saw an angel. You can be as a human being in various emotional state, and you can manifest in a various emotional state, and there are many success stories that prove this. However, the core of who you are is unconditional love. So when you are in love, when you feel unconditional love for yourself, for other people, for the world, when you are in this vibration, there are moments where you are, because you remember who you are, thank God, you are at the highest states of creation. And when you are in this moment, you can unleash the power of your subconscious mind in ways that are gonna make you manifest even the impossible. You can, because you are coming from that frequency where creation exists and spark, and it's the standing point of creation itself. You cannot change this. You can say, I don't want to live in a world where there is unconditional love. I don't know why you would do this, but if you want to live in a world full of anger and hate and disaster and chaos, and when people hate one another and they kill one another, you will experience that world more and more in your own experience. But if another person next to you decides, no, I want to vibrate at the frequency of unconditional love, that person will go on about your reality completely different. And for that person, all the levels of consciousness will be open to understand and to see, because they're coming from the energy of creation itself. You cannot change that. You cannot. You have to accept that this is what it is. You can manifest whatever you want, whatever you can experience and perceive. From your perspective, you can manifest, but you cannot change the solid truth about the spirit world that, oh my God, this video is so long, I apologize. You cannot change this, the fact that source is unconditional love in short terms. Okay, so step number 3, or point number 3 that you cannot manifest, you cannot change actually, is that you will never die. You cannot change that. I'm sorry. I'm sure people were like, okay, that's fine. I don't want to change that. But you will never die. Your ego will die. Like, for example, Naya will die one day. Who knows when? But I will die. Neville Goddard died. The ego, the person that we know as Neville Goddard, he died. But his soul, who he really is, lives eternally. And in fact, I made a video where I channeled Neville Goddard, and it's called I Talk to Neville Goddard, or the expression of Neville Goddard, that it's in the spirit world. So, and it's not reincarnated, by the way, Neville Goddard, if you want to know. So he's chilling in the spirit world. His soul at least is. So with that being said, you are gonna die as you know yourself today, because that's only a character in the Matrix, in Ground Zero. And you cannot change the fact that you are an eternal soul. You are made from unconditional love. You live in a space where there is no space and time, actually. And you live in the mind of source, that is unconditional love. And you cannot change the fact that you will never die. A soul cannot be destroyed. It cannot. It can be adjusted, it can be healed, it can be dismantled and readjusted in a different way, but that's a topic for a separate video. If a soul is heavily damaged, they will heal that soul in the spirit world, and there are various ways to do it, but it will never be destroyed. You can never be destroyed. You are eternal. Your eternal love existing in higher dimensions, and you cannot change that. You cannot change that you are an eternal soul. You can say, I don't believe in the soul, I want to be an atheist. On Earth, on Ground Zero, you will experience that, in fact, the soul doesn't exist. And in this experience, you will be an atheist that doesn't believe into anything. And you will manifest that into your life. But when you die, you will go back to truth. So, and the truth is that you'll never die. You are a soul, and no one can change that. So, what are the things that we can change? We can create change through our perspective and through our experience in Ground Zero, in what we call reality in this game that is the Matrix. Yes, and there is no limit to that, because anything that we can imagine comes from the field of creation, and it's already been created. So you can affect change in your personal experience and personal life, but you cannot change the fundamental truth that construct the higher dimensions and source itself. And those are: you will never die. You are an eternal being that can never be changed. Source creates, coming from a standing point of unconditional love, where there is no judgment, and unconditional love is at the core who you are. That cannot be changed. And in this particular Ground Zero Matrix, you cannot change that your world is a mirror, that the law is working whether you like it or not. So because you cannot change that, you better watch what you're thinking and create consciously your beautiful experience here on Earth, because you are a soul, an unlimited soul having a human experience, and your world is your oyster. And in this experience, you can experience anything that you want. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Definitely, I love to talk more about the spiritual topics as well as esoteric concept. If you also enjoy me talking to you about this esoteric concept and you want to know more about it, please subscribe and hit the ring bell button so you always get notified. Put also a thumb up so it shows into the algorithm and more people can watch this sort of content. And remember, I dive even deeper into the subjects on my Patreon, where I build an amazing community of people that support each other every single day. Link is down below, and for all my products and services, also the link is down below. I love you guys. Sorry for the long video, and I will see you very soon.